What is up, everybody? Kyle here. Welcome back to the channel today for another unboxing video. If this is your first time to the channel, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, all that fun stuff, as I put out a video every single day of all kinds of things, deep dives, unboxings, weekly purchases, figure hunts, you name it, it's all there. But today, I thought we'd do something we've never done on the channel. I don't know if we'll ever do it again, and that's unboxing Deluxe Impact wrestling figures. Little backstory here. Jakks, when they lost the license to WWE to Mattel, they jumped over and started making the TNA Impact figures. They took the Deluxe Aggression style that was flirting around at the end of the Jakks days with WWE. They moved that into their core line for the TNA. They did have a few RA style figures, but very, very few. It was traditionally the DA Deluxe Aggression type style figures called Deluxe Impact figures. So here we are, opening one. I'm working on a complete set of these. I'm actually really close. I haven't really had a checklist. I've just picked them up as I've went. It's kind of fun not to be so crazy about a line and just slowly picking things up. And that's what I'm doing with this Deluxe Impact line. I gotta only have maybe like 5 I need to get outside of maybe some of the crazy Jeff Hardy ones. But I do have a few of those as well. But this Deluxe Impact Mr. Anderson was one I didn't have. Came across it for something like $10. These are all fairly cheap. But the prices have been rising like a lot of things with these ones as well. So not Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Anderson, if you remember his time in TNA. Midwest wrestling staple. See him on indie shows every once in a while in the Midwest. That's for sure. But here's a look at the package. A very sleek, cool package. I'd be lying to you if I told you I bought these when they came out at all. It's been in the last 4 or 5 years I've started picking these up. I remember seeing them at Toys R Us back in the day. They were a hard pass for me. I was younger, out of college or whatever when these were coming out. These came out in 2015. Jeez. Seems like yesterday, but I guess this is 5 years ago. So maybe it was the last 3-4 years I started collecting these, because I know the line was done when I started buying my first one. But these weren't really high on my priority list back then. Limited funds, I guess you would say. This just not what I wanted. I was more on other things at the time. But now I'm going deep. I'm picking these up, like I said. So there it is. Very nice blue packaging. I always thought the packaging on these popped. I think the problem with the line was TNA was always viewed as second fiddle to WWE, of course, so they didn't get the shelf placement. They weren't in all the stores. I think I only really remember ever seeing these in Toys R Us outside of online. Never saw these traditionally at Walmart and Target, at least in my area. Leave me a comment if you ever pick these up at Walmart or Target. I'd be interested to know. But a very plain package. If you guys remember back to the Deluxe Aggression WWE stuff, it was more of a boxed packaging, a little more fancy. This is your traditional card packaging, which I do prefer. I think it takes the cost of the figure down, I'm sure, in the long run. Very interesting set. It says this is Series 13, but look in the back. You only got two wrestlers in Series 13, Mr. Anderson and Angelina Love in the pink. Very interesting. This could very well be one of the last sets. Well, not could very well be. This is one of the very last sets they came out with. Maybe that's why there was only 2 people in the set. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see what this is like when we open up. My first impressions on this figure, I always thought these were figures, especially the AJ Styles ones, the later ones, and this one has the same kind of disease, I guess we'll call it. They look like frog legs to me. That's what they remind me of. They kind of got floppy legs. Hopefully this one won't be floppy outside of the package, but I guess we will see. But they just seemed a little long in the legs for some reason. And the legs were very skinny. Just reminded me of a frog's legs for some reason. But without further ado, we've talked enough. Let's open this up. Let's see what happens. Jakks, I love you. The easiest packaging to open up. Easiest in the game, that is for sure. So let's see if I can get him out. First, let me throw this. See you later. Let me pop him out of his plastic prison. Oh, we're taped in a little bit. We're not taped. We're rubber tied in. So broke him out from there. See you later. Jakks, no, some people don't like him. I absolutely do. I love the head sculpt on this one. Very cool. But he does, unfortunately, have kind of the froggy legs. Not as bad as I've seen others. There's a little wiggle to him. but not terrible, that's for sure. The ab crunch is extremely tight. There we go. You got to loosen them up, but there's nothing like a figure right out of the box. You know, it's tight. It hasn't been played with. You know it's in good shape. There it is, Mr. Anderson. A very awesome head sculpt. Just a little wobble to him. You know, you can kind of shake him a little bit. Nice green and black. The back of his tights, join or die. I'd be lying if I said I remember what that was from. Probably an angle somewhere. He's got Anderson down the one side, kind of a dragon down the other. Has that his patented back tattoo, which is really awesome. I always thought that was really toyetic, really cool, as well as the blonde hair. It's got his bicep tattoo that he always had too, if you can see that there. Not a terrible figure, that's for sure. It says 2010 on the bottom. That's the mold that was used. It's got all of the playability, the double knees, you got the ankle, you got the hands, the wrist, the head, all of the ab crunch, all that fun stuff. These can be somewhat hard to stand every once in a while, but you can make it happen, and there it is right there. So a little something different for us today, a deluxe impact figure. I don't know when I'll ever unbox one of these again. Like I said, I'm pretty close to the end. I prefer getting these minty loose because I'm not the hugest fan in the world. Don't want to break the bank, you know, save your funds for the stuff you really, really want, and then pick up things like this, just kind of an ancillary collection that you got going on the side. And that's how I play the game with these TNA figures. But all in all, not a bad figure. It's pretty solid. I mean, Mr. Anderson, I don't know if he's anybody's total favorite wrestler out there. Maybe somebody somewhere is, that's for sure. But that's the Mr. Anderson Deluxe Impact TNA review. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys real soon.